How China Strikes Back at U.S. Tariffs, the Economic War 2025 Update. Since 2018, the U.S. and China have been locked in a high-stakes trade war. The U.S. imposed tariffs on hundreds of billions of dollars worth of Chinese goods, from steel to semiconductors. But China didn't stay silent. It retaliated, and in 2025, the battle is fiercer than ever. So, how exactly is China striking back? Let's break it down. China's first weapon? Matching tariffs. When the U.S. taxed Chinese imports, Beijing hit back with its own levies on American products, especially agricultural goods like soybeans, pork, and LNG. In 2024, China expanded tariffs on U.S.-made electric vehicles, EVs, and tech components, hurting U.S. exporters. Key points. 2024 tariff hikes. China raised tariffs on U.S. EVs to 40% and imposed stricter customs checks on U.S. tech. Agriculture as a weapon. China shifted soybean imports from the U.S. to Brazil, costing American farmers $12 billion in lost revenue. WTO complaints. China continues to challenge U.S. tariffs at the World Trade Organization, WTO, arguing they violate global trade rules. China isn't just reacting, it's restructuring its economy to depend less on the U.S. How? By boosting self-reliance and finding new global partners. Key strategies. 1. Made in China 2025. Boosted. Heavy investments in semiconductors, AI, and EVs to replace U.S. tech. SMIC, China's top chip maker, now produces 5nm chips, reducing reliance on Intel and TSMC. 2. Belt and Road expansion. Strengthening trade with Africa, Latin America, and ASEAN to offset U.S. market losses. Digital Yuan, ECNY, pushing for yuan-based trade to bypass U.S. dollar dominance. 3. Domestic consumption push. Encouraging Chinese consumers to buy local brands, Huawei, BYD, Xiaomi over Apple and Tesla. Beyond tariffs, China uses regulatory power and diplomacy to pressure the U.S. Tactics. Restricting U.S. firms in China. Slowed approvals for Apple, Microsoft, and Boeing in retaliation for U.S. chip bans. Rare earth dominance. China controls 80% of rare earth metals used in EVs and defense. In 2024, it limited exports to U.S. defense contractors. Alliances against U.S. Closer ties with Russia, Iran, and Saudi Arabia to weaken U.S. economic influence. So who's winning? Both economies are hurting, but China is adapting faster. Key trends 2025. U.S. struggles. Inflation remains high due to costly imports. Some manufacturing jobs haven't returned. China's resilience. Exports to ASEAN and EU grew by 18% in 2024, offsetting U.S. losses. Global shift. Companies like Tesla and Nike now produce more in Vietnam and Mexico to avoid tariffs. Future outlook. The U.S.-China trade war isn't ending. It's evolving. China's retaliation goes beyond tariffs, reshaping global supply chains and tech dominance. If the U.S. keeps pressing, expect more cyber conflicts, sanctions, and a divided tech world. One thing's clear. In this economic war, there are no winners, only survivors. What do you think? Will China's strategies work long-term? Drop your thoughts below, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more deep dives. Can China overtake the U.S. as the world's #1 superpower? As the world watches the shifting balance of global influence, many wonder if China's rapid rise signals a new era of dominance. In this video, we explore what makes a superpower, how China measures up, and when, if ever, it could claim the top spot. A superpower isn't just a strong country. It's a nation that can project power and influence on a global scale across multiple dimensions: economy, military, technology, culture, and diplomacy. The United States has held this title since World War II. But now, China's growing influence begs the question, could it take the lead? China's economy is the second largest in the world, and in purchasing power parity, it's already #1. It lifted over 800 million people out of poverty in just a few decades, and is a global manufacturing powerhouse. Through massive initiatives like the Belt and Road, China is extending its economic reach far beyond Asia. China has been rapidly modernizing its military. While the U.S. still leads in global military spending, China has the largest standing army and a fast-growing navy. In tech, it's investing heavily in AI, quantum computing, and 5G. The U.S. still leads in innovation, but the gap is narrowing fast. But being a superpower isn't just about hard numbers. Cultural influence, soft power, matters too. While Chinese culture is globalizing, its soft power lags behind due to censorship, human rights concerns, and strained foreign relations. Its authoritarian governance model may limit global appeal and trust. So when could China take the top spot? Some experts say by 2030, China could overtake the U.S. in overall influence, especially economically. Others argue it may never happen due to demographic decline, economic slowdowns, and political friction. The timeline is uncertain, but the trajectory is undeniable. Can China become the world's first true superpower? It's well on its way, but whether it overtakes the US depends on more than just GDP. The coming decades will test China's ability to lead not just through might, but through influence, trust, and resilience. The world is watching. Certainly. Here's a concise summary of China's key strengths propelling its ascent toward becoming the world's leading superpower, along with insights into recent economic tensions and China's strategic responses. China's strategic strengths in the global arena. 1. Economic prowess and global integration. Second largest economy. China boasts the world's second largest economy, with significant influence in global trade and investment. Manufacturing hub, it remains a global manufacturing powerhouse, producing a vast array of goods for international markets. Trade agreements. China is a key member of the Regional Comprehensive Economic Partnership, enhancing its trade ties across Asia and beyond. 2. Technological advancements. Innovation leadership. China leads globally in patent filings and has made significant strides in areas like artificial intelligence, 5G, and quantum computing. Made in China 2025 initiative. This strategic plan has propelled China to the forefront in sectors such as high-speed rail, electric vehicles, and renewable energy technologies. 3. Military modernization. Defense investments. China has been rapidly modernizing its military capabilities, focusing on advanced technologies and expanding its naval presence. Strategic objectives. The modernization efforts aim to enhance China's ability to project power and protect its interests globally. 4. Renewable energy leadership. Top renewable energy producer. China leads the world in renewable energy with significant investments in solar, wind, and hydroelectric power. Sustainability goals. The country aims to have 80% of its energy mix come from non-fossil fuel sources by 2060. Navigating economic tensions and strategic responses. Escalating trade disputes. High tariffs. The U.S. has imposed tariffs up to 145% on Chinese goods, leading to significant trade tensions. Negotiation challenges. Efforts to reach new trade agreements have been complicated by past failures and ongoing geopolitical concerns. China's strategic countermeasures. Dual circulation strategy. China is focusing on boosting domestic consumption and reducing reliance on foreign markets, aiming for greater economic self-reliance. Technological self-sufficiency. Investments in domestic technology sectors are being prioritized to mitigate the impact of foreign restrictions and sanctions. Global market reactions. Market volatility. Hints at potential de-escalation in trade tensions have led to rallies in global markets, though uncertainty remains high. China's multifaceted approach, combining economic expansion, technological innovation, military modernization, and strategic policy shifts, positions it as a formidable contender for global leadership. However, ongoing economic tensions and geopolitical challenges continue to influence its trajectory on the world stage.